Hi, everyone. Thanks for helping out with the urban tree canopy layer validation data, or validation process, I should say. So this is going to be for 3 cities, for starters: Boise, Baltimore, and Detroit. And so what you're looking at right now is in ArcGIS, you're seeing the canopy layer in red in Baltimore. The data in red is the canopy that has been created through a semi automatic process by others, I think at University of Vermont and the U.S. Forest Service, and they're usually pretty good, but we need to make sure that they line up with the years that we're looking at, including 2015. So, if the data were validated at 90% accuracy for 2023, how does that stand up for 2015, given there's changes in tree canopy over that period? So we're going to evaluate the land cover at 500 random points in each city. And so here you're seeing a smattering of the points, those red dot things with labels in Baltimore. And basically you're just going to zoom in on each of them for using high-res imagery and say what is lying underneath. So I'm going to get out of Arc now because you're going to be doing this in Google Earth. So you'll open up Google Earth Pro. You'll have downloaded this or be doing it in the lab. It has to be the downloaded version so you can look at historical imagery. And then you're going to, you will add the Google Earth KML file that I provide. So I'll start with Baltimore. I'm just going to drag that in. You can see we got our 500 points in Baltimore. A few settings that are going to be useful, I think. I go to Tools, Options. This is slightly different on a Mac. It's like Preferences or something. But then you go to Navigation, and you'll want to have a fly-to speed that's fast. You're not here to have it look good. You're here to zoom to each point as quickly as possible. And the other thing is, do not automatically tilt when zooming. You want your view to always just be straight down like a map. You're not kind of poking around in a street view or bird's eye setting. Okay. So the other thing you'll have a link to is a logging document in Google Sheets, and it'll look like this. There's going to be all these points. I'm going to call this UID because that's a unique ID for the 500 points, and you'll be visiting each and logging whether that point cannot be assessed, like there's just some issue. It's impervious surface, either building or ground, pervious ground, low, unmaintained, pervious ground, low, maintained, tree canopy, or water. And you'll note here that these are blacked out because as soon as one of the collectors enters in data, it's going to black out so it doesn't bias the other collector. I want to make sure everyone is saying the same thing for each point, and then I can come in and check whenever there's disagreement. It's kind of best practice. So I come in here and I know that I've been assigned to collector number 1, and I've done these 3 points already. And so I need to start at point 4. This is a little bit annoying, but I can't figure out how to get around it. You're going to open up the Baltimore points here, and you're not going to see any indication of where point number 4 is. So you're just going to, obviously I could figure it out for point 4. These are in order. But if I didn't know, I could just guess on one and say, this unique ID, UID is 6. Okay, I was close. So now I can go 2 up and go to 4. So it shouldn't be that bad. So you're double clicking on the point. You're confirming the unique ID, not FID. The UID is what we're using. So 4, and now I'm going to zoom in to where I can see what's going on. And importantly, I'm going to change the image date. You can see down here, the imagery is September 1st, 2023. I want to use the clock the historical imagery and go back to 2015. I would say plus or minus a year. Don't spend a bunch of time on this. Just like choose a decent image that is around 2015 that is ideally leaf on, meaning spring, summer, early fall. But don't try to make it perfect. We need to worry about speed here over perfection. So 10/2014, I think that's pretty good. Then I'm going to zoom in, and you can see this is already maybe a little bit of a challenging case, but I would say this is Canopy. And so this is why we have two assessors, just to make sure that people are in agreement. So I'm going to say, 3 for tree canopy. It will black out. Go back, double click on this guy, zoom in. I just confirm that the imagery has stayed the same. It has. I shouldn't need to worry about that too much. This one is more obviously tree canopy. Oops. Where is it? There we go. We'll do one more. Okay, this one is clearly impervious. So impervious is 0. And then when I'm done with my swap for the day, I would just put in my initials. You don't need to do that every time. Or each entry, just do it once and then drag it down. So save yourself time. So that's about it. I'm sure there'll be some questions or issues, but we'll start with that.